I'm Larissa, I'm 28 years old. I was born into a family of 48 children, of which I am the last. My mother met my father a few years before I was born. She was young and had no children. My father, on the other hand, was already married to several women before marrying my mother, and he had 47 children. 2 months after I was born, my father died. My mother had to work to feed us, her and months. So she worked in a church. She brought me to work every day, and I was the darling girl of all the nuns. 2 years later, my mother will die. I was taken in by the religious sisters, and it was there that I spent most of my life. The nuns sent me to school. I didn't have enough friends and my family didn't come to see me, but the nuns did their best to make me feel loved. So my life consisted of school and church. My devotion to the church was really remarkable, and I began to get to know several families. I was appreciated by many, but much more by a couple, my future in-laws. Mr. and Mrs. Mouton were very interested in me. They appreciated the person I was. My way of being, my way of speaking, of thinking, of keeping brief, all of me. Madame Mouton was already beginning to call me daughter-in-law. They wanted her and her husband to marry their eldest son. When I started college, I met Leon. He was a senior in advertising. Our love affair began some time later. Leon was a good boy. Polite, nice, he really knew what he wanted in his life. The more time passed, the stronger the bond between us became. Then one day he came to see me and told me that he had told his parents about me. According to them, they had already chosen another fiancé for him. He was very angry, but he kept his decision to take me to their home. After 2 weeks, Mr. and Mrs. Mouton came to see the nuns and proposed a meeting to introduce me to their son. I could not say no to this invitation because the nuns were not aware of my relationship with Leon. So we made an appointment for the following week, the weekend, but during the week, that same week, Leon took me after class. He didn't tell me where we were going. Surprised, he took me to his parents' house. Arriving there, I understood that Leon's parents were none other than Mr. and Mrs. Mouton. All the time their eldest sons, whom they kept talking about, it was Leon. Great was my surprise, and 2 weeks after we celebrated our engagement. We got married after 6 months, and now we are inseparable with our 2 beautiful little boys. If you don't believe in fate, I do. Share my story.